Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you a painting of some sheep and a lamb. Now I encountered these sheep up on Dartmoor, and today I felt like just being really expressive with a fairly big brush. So this is A2 mixed media paper, so it's very roughly 20 inches by about 15. And the brush I'm using today is a synthetic flat. It's about 1 inch wide. I'm going to use conventional acrylic. So I've got titanium white, fluorescent orange, ultramarine blue and fluorescent yellow. So it's a little bit of an unusual colour combo because normally I'd have a red here. I may add some other colours later. We'll see how we go. So first thing I'm going to do is grab some of the blue and we'll see how we get on with the initial drawing using the brush. So begin with the top of the lamb's head. Now I don't need to do a sort of complete drawing. I just need to put the big shapes in place. I've got the paint a little bit runnier than I would like for my drawing, but you know, we'll make do with what we've got. So even though the brush is fairly chunky in size, if I use the edge, or the tips rather, or the corner of the brush, I can still get a reasonably precise line. And because this is conventional acrylic, it's going to be, you know, obviously I can cover up these lines, but it's difficult to remove them, if not impossible. So by using broken lines, it just gives me a little bit more room to maneuver later on if needed. So a couple of ears have gone in. Perhaps the head could do with being up a little bit higher, but not too bad. So if change the angle of the right side of the head there. There's the chest, where the other leg, or the right hand front leg, disappears into the torso. Got quite a nice shadow being cast by the head, and all of this is pretty dark as well. So although I was going to start with line work, we may as well just block in some of these deeper toned areas. The beginnings of the back and the rear end. So when it comes to curves, you can think of a curve, if you want, as just being a series of straight lines, rather than try and create a sweeping line with a chunky brush. You can just say, well, I'll approximate it for now. Put down some straight lines. Now that line I put in here, where the top of the leg disappears into the torso, is a bit too far to the left, I now realise, so we'll put a corrected version in. Beginnings at the top of the other leg. So we've got our two front legs there. A rear leg, which I've perhaps made a little bit too wide up at the top. And then we can put in some more darker areas. Still just sticking with the ultramarine blue. And that shadow actually comes all the way down there. The shadow from the ear. So that's kind of cool. Very dark there, and then we'll put in some cast shadow. And by dragging the brush upwards, that gives me a bit of a frayed edge to the top edge of the mark I'm making. So it's a nice way to begin to suggest some grass. Okay, so we've got the beginnings of our first animal, and just taking a moment to look at the proportions, and I don't think that's too bad at the moment. So let's put one of the adults in.